for the hospital.
Oh, do they?
I got the VIP tour. They were so nice. They wanted to show, let's show you what we do.
Yeah,
And it's great for, of course, their clients.
yeah,
And they put kids together and stuff.
yeah.
I was like, that is amazing.
Turn on this.
I read this that you
It's
sent
pretty
to me.
good,
I
isn't it
told you
nice?
to send that to,
Can you find the on-off
Just
switch
like me?
there?
Find the who?
On-off switch on the TV?
On the TV.
screen?
on the side, Peter, maybe?
There's one of these back here.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Oh, okay, maybe that's it. But there might also be a switch on this. Oh, no, there's no switch. Look at that.
There's no on-off.
There's no on-off switch
No.
back here.
Sometimes you'll,
I don't see.
I don't see one at all.
oh, you hit something.
No, you did, you hit.
Huh?
You got
It's
it.
on the front? Oh, yeah, it's on the.
It's on the remote thing here. Okay.
Got it on.
Here we go.
What am I doing?
It's online, right?
Source.
Can you
He'll help it off.
do there?
Well, no, I think we have to take this connection here.
Yeah. You're on now.
Do we have no townspeople with us today?
Apparently, we don't have any. Share content. Oh, here comes somebody. Here.
Molly will know.
Finally, there's somebody smart enough to figure this out. What do we need to do to get make this that? Aaron said that everything was set up. All I do is push the button, but that's not true.
Just so you know, I can hear you guys on my end.
You can.
Oh.
Sorry, I was out of the, I stepped out of my computer area for a moment, but I can hear you and I can see you too.
You can see us?
Oh.
Yeah.
As soon as you came on, the screen went black.
Yeah,
So
the
we're not
screen,
sure what's
we
going
can't
on.
see you, so.
Oh, yeah, I have my camera off.
Oh,
No,
okay.
but we couldn't see you, the screen's black here.
No, the whole screen.
Oh, like the computer monitor's not on. Okay.
Francine on?
Not yet, no. She may not be on it. She said that she would try to be.
I don't know. Preset 1, 2. Molly, have you ever?
I've not used this
No.
little thing.
Invite was it?
Okay,
Well, we have 3 participants in.
yeah, we got Jen and we got us.
Yes,
We got us.
yeah,
Yeah.
So just, oh, and there's somebody in the audience, the attendee.
yeah.
Yeah, Francine just needs to be promoted as a panelist, I think.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, so click on, yep. And then,
Francine's iPad is
go
here.
to the little 3 dots.
Yep.
Promote to panelists.
This is-
That I can do.
Molly.
Wow, Ollie, I knew that there was
Right.
somebody.
That I can do, but
Good
how to get
Francine.
that,
Okay,
it takes a minute.
Okay.
okay.
It's not
Francine?
instant.
How come we can't see it though? Get the
I don't know.
screen.
I see her promoted on my side, but she is
Right.
muted at the moment.
How do we get this, the TV screen?
I mean, is the TV, like, the power button actually turned on it?
Ah,
We
Well-
tried that. We had it actually on and
There
it
you go.
said, you know, it said no source was connected and then you were voicing.
I didn't have my video or my microphone on.
Well, the top camera thing, yeah.
But she can see us, so.
I
Yeah.
can see you guys. Can you see me or hear me?
No,
Yeah.
Francine, I can see you, but I am also on Zoom. It's just from in the room, they're not able to see us at the moment.
Okay. I don't know how long I can stay, but I'll stay as long as I can.
Francine, say,
Oh,
thank you
good.
for trying anyway. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
I've been watching you guys wander around, try to figure out what to do. And then I realized I could see all of it and hear all of it. And then I realized I didn't have my microphone on or
Oh, he has the remote.
Oh,
Can you-
so it's
you
the
know how to get
remote?
Screen?
I could just hit the power, right?
Oh my God.
Turn it on. I think it's what you have to do, right?
You have to see it.
That's weird. You know what?
Yeah.
That's all I know is power on, power off.
Right.
I don't.
Maybe, Anthony, try the source button, the input button to see, maybe
Yeah.
somebody had adjusted that at some point.
I just
Is
hit
there
source.
Somebody was probably watching Hallmark movies in here.
It wasn't me. I do like those Christmas movies.
Yeah, right. Oh, come
It's
on.
really amazing that there's no on-off switch
Yeah.
right here.
But we can, I mean, worst case, we can hear them.
Well, as long as we can hear Francine and Jen, we don't.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
you can see, you
I
can,
don't-
Francine, can you see us? Are we?
Yes, I can, except for when Jen
Here
gets her
it
thing. Yes, I can see you.
You have the opportunity to make gestures at us. if you
Yeah, you
want.
can stick your tongue out if you want to. We-
Yeah, this is like not, I'm trying everything.
No, I don't know what's. Seems crazy, but obviously the cameras. Let's figure it out.
Yeah,
All right, let's start. It's
10
4:08.
minutes of that.
Peter, are you gonna thank it?
I am.
Doing it one more time, appreciate that.
So you're doing,
Okay, I will call this meeting to order at 4:08 PM. I just want to mention for a second that I had a conversation yesterday with two people who are on the Economic Development Commission. And they have come to the conclusion that in order for Madison to develop economically, affordable housing is an important criteria. So it's, we will probably try to bring in Carol Snow, and I probably will bring in Carol Snow and have a conversation with her. In one of the issues that we discussed yesterday is that zoning, which we're not going to get into what we should do in zoning, but zoning essentially encourages the kind of development that we've had over the past 20 years, and that it actually discourages affordable housing because of zoning providing for requiring large plots of land for houses. So, I mean, the idea I think that we have all agreed is that the only way that you're going to be able to not only afford affordable housing, but also to address some of the issues even for people who have more money than those who qualify under 830G, is to have increased density in one form or another. So they would like to work with us. In fact, Andrew said that he may in fact show up for some part of the meeting today. So if he does, I will introduce him. Nothing much other than we had a conversation, but it was interesting that another issue within the town has included this. Yeah.
And what's his name, who might come?
Andrew Wood. He is also, I believe, still head of the shoreline. He's very active. Greg Wagner is the other one.
Okay, yeah.
He says that they are a subcommittee of the FEC looking into this issue of what we're going to do next. So we will have, we'll have other meetings, and so if anybody wants to join those meetings, anyone on the committee is welcome. Approval of minutes of November 6th, which was the last official meeting we had. Any questions, any? We have to do it properly, Robert's Rules of Order, so we need a movement to accept and move to accept the minutes.
Move to accept.
Second?
yes,
Okay, and any changes or corrections that anybody wants to make? If not, then we'll please approve unanimously. Next order of business is to pick up what has been going on for quite some time here is the housing trust funds. And where are we at that period?
It's in Jane's hands.
Jane's hands.
Peter and I have a meeting on Monday with Stacy and Peggy to talk about the feedback from the accounting, whoever does the accounting work for the town. And
It's a separate firm? It's an outside firm, not.
yeah, but apparently they ran the idea through the accounting team, and they're going to talk to us on Monday. We have a meeting, the Zoom
Okay.
meeting. Forgot what it's in the afternoon, I think. So that's where that is. Peter has an article on was it land trust?
Great article this morning.
from the Connecticut Mirror on land trusts and how they can be used to increase affordable housing. It's really, I mean, it says everything that we want to say, you know? It just says that
Yeah,
if you can use a land trust, you can usually negotiate or receive better tax policy from the town, you know, for the use of that land. But it says land trusts are just a great way to provide real estate to build affordable housing. And I copied Jane on it. Guess who sent this to me? Bennett. Bennett, he says, I saw this morning, I thought of you immediately. Well,
Thank you, Bennett.
bless you, Bennett. You know?
He can't keep, he wants to be quiet.
so there's a brief article, I got the gist of that as being, to put land into a trust for, purposes of, adjusting taxes on the land.
Those white ones are hers.
So,
Jen, did you say something?
so anyway.
Oh,
so-
no, that was Francine.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. I got a new phone and I can't figure out how to do this thing. So I said to Peter, Peter will be forwarding that to Peggy and Stacy, and we'll talk about that as well on Monday.
Oh, good.
So.
There's nothing to not establish a land trust. I mean, it's been so clear from the very beginning.
Help me though, I mean, you didn't send it to me, so I didn't see that, so help me. Right now, we are at ground zero, we don't have anything like a land trust, okay? What would be the next steps that one would take to have a land trust?
I think the Board of Selectmen would say, yes, we'll establish the land trust.
How do you acquire the land? I mean, how do you put land in trust?
Well,
Oh, it's probably just a legal mechanism, setting up a trust legally and having, putting the parameters of the trust in a document and then assigning the property parcels to the particular trust. To me, they kind of go hand in hand. You have a housing trust that collects the money, and then you're going to have the land trust that's going to, you know, state what the rules are of the use of the land.
I agree, it is, they go hand in hand. I agree.
we would ask the town to certainly put some town properties into that.
I'm just, yeah, I understand, I'm really, help me along here though.
Sure.
So, we know the town has, property that they own land,
Yeah.
unused land, right, or undeveloped land. So the idea would be that some of that land, one of the, whatever, some portion of the land that the town owns will be moved into this idea of a trust, be separate. The trust would be for the purpose of developing
Affordable housing, that would be the express purpose of doing that.
Yeah.
Now, but the town is not gonna shoot itself in the foot, because usually it charges lower taxes on housing that's developed on.
Yeah, that's a
housing.
separate issue, that's a separate issue.
It is a separate issue, but you gotta think of all of that stuff,
Yeah.
Well,
you know, going into this, but we would certainly urge, and we will urge, you know, Peggy and Stacy to help us set up a affordable housing trust fund. This is not a land trust, it's a money trust.
No, I understand the money trust, we've been through that, we got that.
Sure,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm not acting purposely dumb,
No,
we
no.
have not really
You're not.
focused on the land part, so if we're gonna, we have to, I'd like to make sure that we kind of understand what the questions are. So what we've been saying is that the land that we go into this trust is land that is currently owned by the town.
Yeah.
That'd be the starting point.
Or donate it, you know, there's a lot of ways we can get it, we can buy it.
But let's start, what is the starting point? I mean,
It
before,
would,
you know,
starting point would be town owned.
going to Jen and the rest of the board of selectmen and saying, okay, spend some money to buy land is probably not the smart way to spend.
No.
Can I ask a question about this? The land trust thing? I'm a little unclear as to so the town already owns land. And so the housing trust, you're asking the town to put it in a trust? I mean, they already own it. So what's the difference between owning it and putting it into a trust? What would be the reason? And then the second part of that question would be, am I to understand that when that the housing trust fund is when land is put into it, it's only for affordable housing? That would be the purpose? Or can any purpose happen with land in the trust fund?
Well, That's, I mean, yes, as Jane just said, they go, the hand in glove, and the housing trust fund, the dollars and the land, they complement each other. And I think what we're talking about is right now, the town doesn't need to do anything. It owns the land, it can do anything it wants with it. By moving it into a land trust, you're basically saying this land is now designated to be used for affordable housing.
Correct.
Okay, so that's what I was wanting to clear up. So if they put it into a trust, it would be purposely for setting it aside. Now, this land will be used for, we're making a pledge that that's what we're gonna do with this land. That's where we're putting it in the trust. That's the
Yeah.
point. Okay,
So you have a certain set of rules that will go around the use of that land. And perhaps there are a different tax situation for that land. I mean, you can make up the trust. I'm sure there's a zillion different ways to do it. So think of it just like setting up an estate trust. You have all your assets. Maybe you're going to put your house in there, and there are certain parameters about, what's going to happen to that house going forward.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so and you can talk to Stacy on Monday and you'll get a better idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that, the housing trust fund obviously is a little easier because all you do is you create it, there's no money in it, then you have to figure out how to put money in it. But that's a separate kind of an easier, I think, task than saying, take land that you have not designated for other purposes. Now, Erin sent me a note and she mentioned again, the facilities committee that is also, that you guys have already met with once.
Yes.
But clearly, it would be seems to me that's a call we should make sooner rather than later, because essentially they're looking at all the land is available for any purpose at this point. That's their brief?
Francine, do you want to pipe in on it?
Yeah.
Well, I guess my understanding, yes, we knew, we were told, or I read it even in their minutes, that they were evaluating all the land, all the town-owned land. And so when we met with them, when Jane and I met with Dave Kadamus and the other woman who I'm not recalling her name at the moment, if I understood him correctly, they were only identifying all the land, but not singling it out for purposes. But I do believe that one of the things that he was interested in was the town being more efficient in how it used its land. And one of the examples that he threw out was, for example, we have all the buses, the school buses down on Nathan's Lane. But why don't we have them where the school, like if there's a space by school, didn't he say that, Jane? He brought up school buses, like, is there a more efficient? And basically he was just saying, they're trying to evaluate all the town-owned land, how it's being used, and how it might be used more efficiently. I think that was the gist I got. He said, we are not looking at land to say, oh, this would be good for affordable housing, or this would be good for that, but more, how can it be used more efficiently? Was that your takeaway, Jane? Yeah.
Well, Francie, let me ask the question this way. What do you think if we went and said we wanted to recommend a land trust? What is their opinion of that? I mean, are they going to say, no, we can't do that until we're finished our project? Or
I don't think they would have any say.
I don't think they would. I don't really see how that involves them at all, to be honest.
I mean, this facilities, it sounds like would have to be chartered by the Board of Selectmen to say, okay, you guys are the experts, look at the town land, the efficiency, you guys get first pick if you can make improvements for the town. Next step, Board of Selectmen say to facilities, we want you to look at the land, we need affordable housing land. What do you think? I mean, it's not that they're gonna approve affordable housing land, but they have to be chartered with.
the facilities committee?
Correct. They gotta be chartered with that, that job of saying,
And actually,
gonna take the
when
land.
Francine and I met with them over the summer, he left us with the impression that they were just getting started.
yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they only meet once a month, I believe.
Yeah, we probably should at least reach out again to them and say, what's your schedule? Where are you in this
Yeah.
process? Is this a 2-year project? I don't think we need to hold back on making the recommendation about the land trust, but being able to execute it, I believe is going to run into a problem with the facilities until they've decided, that they don't want to make a parking lot for the school buses. And so I think, setting up, so you can actually set up the land trust without actually putting any land in it initially. but it is one of the things that clearly, it's a way the town, as a town, can demonstrate what it said in its various strategic plans and plans of conservation and development, that we are going to build affordable housing. And one way we're going to do that is use the land that we already own. And so I think it would demonstrate that there's a seriousness behind the idea of.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure the town attorney is gonna be at some point, it's a,
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, again, any of the things that we do, we don't have the skill set to
No.
do write the recommendation the way it's supposed to be written, so we're gonna have to have that done by somebody else, including the lawyer, I suppose.
Yeah.
So does having a land trust then, almost eliminate a step? By saying this is the land that we put there, Board of Selectmen's approved it, so now
Yes,
we're like one step closer.
yep,
Yeah, but those are all the steps.
well, then you
Well,
can,
then you gotta find a developer and all
well,
that. but-
yeah.
But also-
Developers, all the guys I talk to, the first thing they say is, Anthony, the land.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna get the land? At what price?
and if
So
we
this
have,
can,
if the land is there, then you could say, come on in and take a look at the land.
yeah, then you're right.
Well, there is a step that we're missing, I think, though, in that but the land parcels have to be evaluated to even if they're, if they actually can be utilized as for affordable housing, because we've identified parcels, Jane and I, but we don't know if they're actually, if there's water problem, you know what I mean? There's a lot of,
Oh, yeah.
Yes, of course,
Yeah.
yeah,
But it's also, I mean, developers can take that into consideration, but there's water problems, there are maybe ways to deal with the water problems, and so,
okay,
I think you really want to identify as best as we can what might be available and put it into trust, but then.
okay,
Next step would be, exactly what you're saying,
okay,
and plus the town has I'm not sure what it's called, but it's looking forward to the climate change and all that, so there's obviously some other things that will impact what land is chosen for that.
Well, what do we have to do next, though? The next thing, in my opinion, would be the same thing that we're doing with the other stuff. We need to recommend to the Board of Selectmen in an official way that they establish such a thing, so.
And you're taking the next step, which is to talk to the town clerk and the accounting department or the accounting firm or whatever it is. And you're doing the right thing, getting it ready, because you have to have the Board of Selectmen, and I won't speak for Jen, but I mean, I would expect the Board of Selectmen, the first thing they'd ask about is how does the town management feel about these ideas that you're bringing up?
Yeah,
And if there's somebody saying, no, I hate it, then it might be more difficult to get it approved. So I think.
should we have a list of questions or concerns for Jane and Peter going forward? To ask them?
Do you have some thoughts? Yeah.
I don't know, just to be fair, so we get all the questions.
We take all questions.
Thank you very much.
And no one's better, I mean, you're amazing, but I don't know if anybody's got, questions you want to ask them or get answered, I should
Well, I
say.
think let's go back and square one where we were, so that everybody knows what we're talking about. Number one, a housing trust fund. The idea there,
Yeah.
correct me,
Yeah.
either Peter or Jane, the idea there is that the town would create a vehicle in which money could be poured that would be used to support developers coming in and looking at.
That's on the table already. That's well along.
Just let me go through the things for the record, so we know, everybody heard that, and everybody, understands that's the next step. Then separately, but in a complementary way, we would be looking into identifying land that the town already owns, and perhaps other land in the future, but at least the town-owned properties that would be put aside specifically to be developed for affordable housing. And if it turns out that a particular piece of land, after developers have looked at it, says you can't do what you want to do, then that can be removed from the land trust and put it back into whatever parking lot for the school system. Whatever. Is that what we're saying?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the next step you're going to take is that you're going to speak with them on Monday, and then we'll see what kind of reaction we get, and certainly bring up the land trust thing, which you have not talked about.
We have not.
So.
We'll talk about it.
That's gonna be
I will
hard.
say, Couple questions, and I'm not even sure of the answer to this, but a couple of questions you may want to investigate as well is, if the town and everybody is agreeable to moving forward with developing a land trust, what process does that need to go through in order to get ratified by our town citizens? Does it need to go to town meeting? Is it a referendum question? Because anytime as a town that we're expending large amounts of money, then all of that needs to go through a certain process with town citizens voting on that taking place. So I could see how there could be a correlation with land because land holds value. Similar to the process that we went through with selling off the Academy School, or I'm sorry, the Island Avenue School property. There may be some other steps that are involved in that process, and I'm not sure what those would be. So that would be good questions to discuss over with Peggy or Nancy Martucci, our town clerk. But just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay,
Very, very good point. And it's hard to say because what we're saying here is we take land that is currently not used. So there's no dollar amount involved in it, although in putting it into trust, certainly the next step, if you were to sell that to a developer, that's the Island Avenue School situation. You're selling town land to a private developer. So,
Or even if you hold on to it, lease it to them for $1 or whatever those
Yeah.
agreements are, it's still,
it's not market rate though.
yeah,
That's
it's
a
still,
cost.
there's still a value there.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I think we're ready for the next step. So the next thing we will do is the next meeting, hopefully we'll get support from the people, the officials in town, and we will proceed to develop what we recommend. And then as far as the board is concerned, I think that we probably want to have, we talked about this before, an informal meeting with the board of select rather than going directly to a recommendation for legal, to have them brief them on what we are talking about before we then come back to the regular recommendation. Ben, do you think we're okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. So anything more, Peter, Jane, anything?
No.
Francine, any more comments?
No, that's okay.
Okay. So we have a schedule, we know what we're gonna do there. Then the new business we have very quickly, the first question is, Aaron very kindly sent us an actual schedule. And for next year, on the first and third Wednesdays of the month, do we wish to continue to be on that schedule? Which is the current schedule.
Works for me.
yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Francine?
It's fine.
Peter? Yep. Okay. The next meeting therefore will be on the, will not be until the 8th of January because the first Wednesday is January, it's New Year's Day.
Yeah,
And I didn't send it to you, did I? No, I will. You didn't, I didn't send it to you.
no,
Okay, I will get that this afternoon. I'd like to talk just very briefly about the new road development, which is being, I believe, is being heard by the Planning and Zoning Commission tonight, or around right now. I'm not sure exactly what the schedule is. This is was to be, I think it was 64 units, have 6 affordable units based on the criteria of 830G, with 80%, which is the highest. Right. So, whereas the Wellington has 40, 60, 80. This would only be 80% of the New Haven AMI. They, pardon?
do you know when the development will be?
I can tell you, I can.
Oh, I know, it's online, that's, I just.
Well,
looked at the
it's
email.
a major development. They want housing on the south side of New Road. They want to building medical facilities, medical offices on the other side of the road. They own both parts of the
oh,
road.
that's,
Oh.
yeah, the new road. And
Yeah. On both sides of the
So,
road.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's on the big clearing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought
And
it
they
was
paved
just,
the road.
Yes.
Hey, oh my God.
I didn't know it was housing, it's just this Hammonasset Medical Center.
That
That's
is gonna be
across the
on north
street,
side of New.
yeah.
Oh, God,
The
thank you.
south side is. gonna be
South
housing.
side,
Oh, really? So the
They-
cleared area is a housing.
And interestingly enough, they.
No, the cleared area is for the medical.
yes,
That's the south
Yeah.
side.
Is that the south side then?
that's the south
That's
side.
the south side. The cleared
Yes.
area is the
North side,
south
the
side,
north
and that's for
side.
medical. And then across the street where it's all still wooded, that is the section that would be for housing, with some of the units, I believe, being affordable units and some of the units being market rate.
Yes,
Gotcha.
I believe it's 8 units would be affordable.
How many units in total?
72.
Oh, 72.
And interestingly enough, I mean, they came in with the original plan and they've come back with a new plan with more units, but smaller size, because they did additional market analysis and discovered that people were looking, there's more demand for smaller
Yeah,
apartments than bigger apartments. And so they went from 64 to 72. They had 6 affordable, now they're going to 8, which is almost 11% of the total, which is, you know, we're being good citizens. It's not under, it's, as far as I understand, they're not trying to put it through as an 830G project. But of course, that is in your pocket.
yeah.
Run into serious problems.
Do we know who the developer is?
Yeah, just ask that, Peter.
Yeah, I will.
On what you sent, there's a corporation that says Ron DeGennaro.
Yeah,
There's an attorney, Hammonasset Commons. I don't know.
I have.
Architect, surveyor, engineers.
Septic system engineer.
Right?
Yeah, there's actually a somewhat organized opposition already because of complaining that the septic systems would overwhelm,
Yeah.
which. of course,
Was that the applicant being voted each and every?
That's irrelevant at this point. I'm not gonna remove it in the minutes.
No, don't. There's no need to. I can't find it right now, but I will look for it. It's a major development, and it will make a big difference, by the way, as soon as they start putting up those, people will start noticing.
Oh, yeah.
Just the open space.
Yep.
I put this thing down as priorities for next year, and I think that we have 2 projects that are underway we're talking about. But do we have any thoughts about what other things that we should be working on in the new year? Any ideas? I mean, one of them will be, and we'll see what happens as we go along, but one of them will be working with the EDC folks and seeing what we might be, might work out with them. But that's not really a target process.
I would very much like to see us establish a housing administration or a housing committee or a housing manager or a housing person, for the town. Somebody whose job it is primarily to not only work with us as an ad hoc committee with no budget and no standing, other than just, listed in the town list of committees.
You're feeling lonely.
We need more formal states. I'm sorry.
Well, I think we did talk about this. This
We
is,
did talk about it.
yeah, I don't know whether we need a person or whether we need a function somewhere in the
Yeah.
organization, but.
Well, we've talked about it now for a year, yeah, but that's okay, it's a good talk.
2 years.
2 years, all right, well, we've been underway for more than 2 years,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So our terms are up, right, we're gone.
Yeah, that's another item on the list here. We gotta
Yeah.
figure out what we're gonna do.
Didn't they say the person that commands that kind of salary?
Well, it's only money, so I mean, it's not a question, I mean, you can spend it on this, you spend it on that, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not, all I'm saying is that I tend to agree with what Peter was saying, is that if you're going ahead with things like a housing trust fund and a housing trust, land trust, and you don't have anybody who's specifically responsible for kind of like working with that and working with developers, then it's gonna be very hard, I think. clearly Erin, if anybody, it's Erin. On the other hand,
Yeah.
she doesn't seem to be underworked, so.
I think we need to explore affordable housing, from a infrastructure standpoint of, maybe addressing those people who need affordable housing who are disabled. I don't think we've really focused on that, and it's a different
Yeah.
criteria. And I think we need to talk to developers who have experience in that, and to say, hey, you know what, this is a subpopulation of people who need affordable housing that really need certain types of infrastructure.
That is one of the criteria to be admitted into Concord Meadows. So I think it might be interesting to ask, to meet with them. And
Yes,
find out what demand they have. Is it, I would expect there's more demand than there are facilities.
Yeah, there's a waiting
Yeah.
list over there.
I'm sure there
It's
is.
yeah.
2 to 3.
So we can identify sort of the size of the problem that way.
Hmm.
But yeah, okay, that's a good.
And even at
Yeah.
Concord Meadows, they have apartments that are upstairs and downstairs. They provide one of those chair lifts to get upstairs. But if you're really disabled and you need a downstairs, then it's a longer wait.
Longer wait, yeah.
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 Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's one thing to go up those stairs if you're capable of holding your groceries in your hand,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But if you're not, that's also.
So
That was
on
a
that,
good one, Gene.
on that note, I think next year we should be putting pen to paper on what we envision our affordable housing communities to look like, because we don't really have any Madison criteria for that. And I'm assuming you're talking about entire communities, not 11% of a community that is affordable, like an entire, affordable housing complex somewhere. And I think that it will require some thought and maybe some feedback from town and community on, really understanding what are our needs and how do we, get the infrastructure we need. Because what will happen is we're gonna be in a position where, let's say all this starts getting done, and suddenly, we've talked to developers, well, suddenly we're gonna be in a position where they're gonna say, okay, where's your request for proposal? And when you sit down and think about it, because I've done a lot of requests for proposal in the corporate world, they can be very detail oriented, and we want them to be, especially with developers, because if it's not in there, you're not getting it.
By definition, yeah.
Yeah.
Regarding, disabled housing, just so you know, there's loads of folks over at Concord Meadows who are on SSI, supplemental security income. And that's $943.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
that
right.
means rent is
Yeah.
very low.
Yes, it is very low.
Oh,
And every person is assessed, I think, depending on
Based
what
on
their
their
assets are.
income, yeah.
Wow. I think it might be worth, I would try to schedule some of the people at Concord Meadows, the people who run it, and see if we can have a meeting with them, at least as a starting point. Your other point, Jane, I think is a good one as well. So we talked about, like workplace, housing, restricting it somehow to people who are employed by the town in some form, particularly the cops and the teachers. That's another category that we should be thinking about. There may be others. I mean, we're talking about people who have handicaps and people workplace, people working for the town. And there are undoubtedly other. And then, of course, we found out with Wellington is that depending on the financing, we don't have the right to do anything about it. Some of the moves into
Yeah.
those properties.
Yeah. So,
Something that.
The thing that I would, we're talking about goals, can you hear me?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think when I think about how we go, some going forward things in my mind, I think about the fact that I think that we have to drill down on the town-owned land. And I really think at some point in the near future, we should be sitting down with the Board of Selectmen, whether or not it's just Peggy and another representative or our whole committee with them, so that we can, and I mean, I think there will be some, something, once if they say yes to the Housing Trust Fund to put land in that they own, that will send a message, as far as I'm concerned, that yes, they are committed. But I feel like we have been now 2 years working in isolation, and we've never sat down with the Board of Selectmen to kind of get some feedback from them on the whole topic and how committed is the town. And so that's something that I think about, that this is where we are now, 2 years in, and we've begun to identify parcels of land. We don't know everything about them yet, but we've been trying to do our homework on it. And I will be very interested to see what the feedback ends up being from the meeting that Peter and Jane have, in terms of what the attitude is about the housing, not the Housing Trust Fund necessarily, the money, but the land trust that says, yes, the town wants to commit certain land to be investigated for affordable housing. Because that will, if the answer to that is no, we're not doing that, that's sending me a message, about commitment on the town's part. So I don't mean to be negative, but we have never sat down with them. So I have no idea what the thoughts are on that, so that's a goal for me, that I would be
Now
interested.
that we have some concrete ideas, I think it's a good time to talk. 6 months ago, 8 months ago, I'm not sure we really have anything to talk to them about.
Well, but we've been talking about establishing a housing trust fund from nearly the first month that we've been meeting. So
the housing director, we've been talking about it for a lot of meetings, but we're now at a point where I think you can actually sit down. We have enough information to sit down with the Board of Selectmen and be able to sort of brief them on what we think is next steps.
yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. What the response to that will tell me personally a lot. And then when you're asking for goals for the new year, one of my goals would be, the first thing that comes to mind for me is that at some point we should be having a discussion with the Board of Selectmen about the topic and the town-owned parcels, and just in general, just to get some sense of where they are with this.
Yeah, and I think now that you guys are coming up with more concrete ideas, you'll be having this conversation about the housing land trust. I believe you've already had a conversation about the housing trust fund. These are things that you guys can put together in a presentation to bring to one of our Board of Selectmen meetings on either, like a Monday night or a Tuesday morning, to give a full presentation to both, not just the Board of Selectmen, but so that the town can, see the work that you guys have been doing too, and that can enter us into that public discussion, because that's the thing. None of these discussions about these sorts of things can fully be had in private. They will have to come before us at a Board of Selectmen meeting to, be brought to the public arena.
Yep, I agree.
Okay.
And then we have the third one being the trust fund, but also the idea of having some function within the town. It's going to need money somewhere to manage these processes. Thank you. I think that's exactly right. So I will, with the holiday coming up, I think we're looking at January, not. I don't even know if the Board of Selectmen are going to have another meeting in.
Oh, I didn't mean immediately. I meant when we're talking about goals for the future, in the new year.
For next, right in January. But I think I'll reach out to Peggy and ask her, how we can schedule this. Something like that, so we'd have that conversation. Even if we can certainly put together a presentation, but maybe I'm wrong, but I'm thinking that I don't want to go to the board saying, this is what we want you to do, so act now. I think we have to sort of.
Well, I don't mean it that way. I just mean, just to. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I think Francine, you made one very good point, and that is the town, other than saying in several documents that we like affordable housing, hasn't really done anything to make affordable housing happen, other than having a committee, us. So
Now we're offering them options.
Pardon?
Now we are offering them options.
So we are giving them options, so that's good. So I will certainly go ahead right away with talking to Peggy about the meeting of the Board of Selectmen. But the other three items, I think we'll we will make it a little bit more formal, and I'll get a note around everybody's hands, and we're talking about, and so this is our agenda for next year, and of course, we can obviously add and subtract from the agenda as we go through, it, but at least we kind of know what we're gonna talk about.
We asked her about filling out the committee again.
Well, I have asked Erin, and she said that the Republican Town Committee has in fact received one application for a member pending with the RTC. I have no idea.
Is that the same one that was pulled from medical?
It could have been. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was.
So it's not,
No.
okay. Yeah, this is from Erin. Well, Peggy's certainly been going out there every week and saying, please volunteer folks to everything, and we want
Yeah,
people to volunteer for it. We
I
have-
mentioned it too, at the Republican Town Committee meeting.
No,
haven't been there in a
no,
while,
no,
but I did
nobody's
mention
jumping it. No,
Nobody's jumping,
Yeah.
nobody's jumping.
I kind of thought so.
You know, the first, I don't wanna get, yeah.
No.
No, it's people like, you know, get,
I think
they
that,
wanna talk about it and, you know,
you know who we
the
need?
discussion, but,
You know who we really need
Say
is
what?
also somebody like the commander of the American Legion Post.
oh,
I mean, I'm serious.
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Charlie Corso.
Or somebody like, I mean, I don't know that
Yeah.
individual person, but something like that. You want to
I like that.
just let you know, big application. I mean, I think we need
Do
to
you know
have
him, man?
some,
Just, you know, I met him briefly. I tried to present in
That's right.
front of them and it was turned down. That's how I know.
the
I
reject,
don't take rejection easy.
Nice.
okay, I think
Yeah.
you're the guy to talk to. We don't, you know, we wouldn't want to be rejected, you know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, with the new
I
charter.
think it's worth a shot. I know other members I can ask.
Well, I'm thinking that we need a younger person who also is maybe not, you know, who would actually give us another point of view.
I like that,
think
yeah.
it would help a little bit, when we talk about some of these things.
Okay.
Because we, at least we five seem to be in more or less agreement, but maybe have a little bit more of a conversation. Yeah, think about who you might, along those lines.
Yeah.
Think they would be interested. Okay, here comes the hard part. The new charter requires us to have our board, the committee, spread out over a 3-year period so that the board, that the committee does not expire every year. We were hired for 2 years, our 2 years are over at the end of this year. So all of us are gone as of the end of this year. We have to re-up and we have to sign the Pledge of Allegiance and all that stuff as well. We have to go through the whole routine.
Before our next meeting.
Pardon?
I said before our next
We
meeting.
better do it before the next meeting, otherwise there's nothing to talk about. So we need, there are 3 different categories, 2 years, 3 years, and 4 years.
Oh, there's a 3-year? Oh, yeah, okay.
I believe there is. It's the only one I haven't,
Sure.
not everybody is, I can,
What if we all volunteer for 2?
we
That's the problem.
okay.
Take it or leave it.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
We must appoint a chair and a vice chair at our first meeting. The chair cannot serve for more than 4 consecutive years. And it has to be notified, et cetera. Trying to see where they have.
Is that part of the new charter or something? Is that?
This is the way, this is the town's policy on commissions and committees.
Yeah.
And the new charter appoints us as no longer an ad hoc. So we are now something that it always wanted.
I was looking for that.
So we're no longer an ad hoc. We are the Affordable Housing Committee. And that committee, we have to have this process. And the idea is that they don't want everybody expiring in the same year.
Yes, yeah, you gotta stagger it, yeah. That's an issue, okay.
Well, term served, I mean, time served already counts.
Nope. Does not.
By
It
the
starts
document,
again.
doesn't, by the
Yeah.
fact.
Does it count though for the 4-year term for the chair or
I
no?
guess so. I don't know. I mean, since we were an ad hoc,
Right,
apparently an ad hoc
right.
doesn't really exist. I mean, it's sort of,
Right.
since it is an ad hoc. So, I don't know. I don't have the information right now. But basically, we need to divide us up into groups, and maybe we go with Jane, if we all go on for 2 years. But it'd be great if we could split that. I will not serve for 4 years. I think 2 years, 2 more years is the maximum that I'm able to do, you know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna chime in here. So I've got a lot going on in my life right now. I mean, everybody does, but you know, I don't like belonging to something and then not being able to pull my weight. So, well, if I could, I would say, you know, I'll definitely do another year. That's 3 years for me. But since that's not on the table, I didn't read that in the thing, a 3-year, you know, that you could add a year. I would not be able to sign up for 4 more years. I mean, you know, I'm like a little overwhelmed right now with what's going on. So I don't want to not do it, but on the other hand, I don't want to not be able to do it. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, I could do 2 years probably, but that would be probably the most.
Okay. If Jane, Peter, and Anthony, you want to think about it some more and get back, I think we probably have to, you know, by the end of the month, we should have something to send back to town, tell them what we're going to do.
Okay.
And we have 2 vacancies, so they can be the 4-year vacancies, so.
Yeah.
You're not in a room.
That's right.
So, anyway, so.
No,
think
yeah.
about it. Okay, just send me a note or give me a call or we can talk about it. But that's the only thing I think we have to, I mean, they have a new slightly revised minutes thing. Again, we are going to not do what they asked us to do, which is to identify one person to be the minute taker. So we will continue on.
Rotating meetings.
Rotating thing. What we may do is put someone down as the official name of the minute taker as far as the actual minute taking is
Yes.
concerned. We would,
Gotcha.
We're doing it right now. So that's pretty much everything I've got here on my list. Anything that we let's see what parents say, 'cause
You sent us a whole bunch of stuff,
I did. So I wanted you to be informed.
and we are,
Yeah. Over informed maybe. I don't
but, with the agenda, you know, we gotta, you know,
The agenda seems to be pretty much the same as we had. I don't see any major changes.
and minutes, you know, trying to prescribe formats, format is okay, but trying to prescribe that stuff is not in my wheelhouse. And, you know, what are they gonna say if we deviate from the actual,
I don't think you're gonna get fired, Peter.
you know, and I was never worried about that too much.
You gotta send that stuff.
Hey, Mark, I'm
Send a bunch of stuff.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Francine.
Mark, I'm gonna sign off if that's okay.
We're pretty well done anyway. Thank you.
All right. Okay, it's a little rough right now, but you know,
Thinking about it.
thanks a lot. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you for really squeezing us in. I appreciate it.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
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 You already sent everything.
Did you? Okay.
So it should be, and if not.
Yeah,
Um,
you sent out the schedule?
I did not send out. the
Okay.
schedule. I did because we had not decided on it. So
Gotcha.
that was-
All right.
But the schedule is, the only question I had was, do we want to change?
Right,
from First and third Wednesdays, if
Okay.
not, Aaron's given us the list, so I'll pass that around, so everybody has it. And I
Yeah, I
think
thought you
Aaron
said
has
that,
asked us to have the facilities committee and making sure that we know what they're doing, so.
Well, Francine and I have this list of properties, and I have collected the deeds on all of them except for 2.
Mhm.
Because for some reason, the database does not have a book and page on 2 of them. Even the ladies in the
Really?
office said, wow.
We should have that.
So there's missing data. So I
Yeah.
will talk to Erin about that when I see her next. But
Maybe the town doesn't know.
we're gonna go through this. There's a couple of deeds that reference maps that I haven't been able to locate either because they did not put a map number on the deed. So there's still some details in data.
Yeah.
However, that said, I feel like we now have a good idea of where we stand on this. And we plan on our next steps for her and I to sit down and go through the missing data, see down here, we're gonna solicit somebody to help us, and then talk to, I think it's Robert Russo, who's the town engineer.
Yes.
And after we speak with him, then I think it would be appropriate for us to go back to the facilities committee, see what they've accomplished, see what, if their charge has changed,
Yeah,
and tell them where we are.
yeah, that sounds good.
Absolutely fine, yeah.
You know, the deed itself will specify where it is. If you-
Yeah, but here's the thing, it says, oh, and there's an easement on this, refer to the map, and then you're like, okay, what map?
Where's the map?
There's no map number.
But usually the deed specifies an address too. You know, a road
These-
number.
these
I know,
should
but the
have it.
database-
The data doesn't have.
The
it.
database says instrument number, book or page. That's how you look up stuff. And in some cases, there was a deed where somebody hand wrote the instrument number for the map. So I managed to get one or two maps that way. But in a lot of the old deeds, there's no other information. So you put in the person's name, you put in the address, they're like, oh, we don't know what you want.
Wow.
Shame.
So,
You can't search, you can't search.
yeah, so there's about 4 properties that are kind of like, we're like questionable. So
Yeah.
So we started with 12, so we're probably down to 8. And then from there, there's a couple that have restrictions, like, oh, this is only for highway use. This is only a highway park or whatever. So there's some things, so the list is getting smaller.
Smaller.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So you're down to, what would you say right now without having all the details? Like 5 or 6 things that look like they
I
might
think
be?
6.
Six.
And some of them are the large parcels of
Mhm.
schools, so. And part of Bower Park, there's 2 parcels
Yeah,
to part of
right.
Bower Park.
Right.
Which was supposed to be, that actually says.
Actually
it.
says it, yeah.
Ryerson is enormous. If you haven't walked Ryerson sometime,
Yes,
you know,
We
go
have
up there and it's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's a great property. You could build 4 apartments up there and wouldn't even be noticed. You know,
exactly.
And put it in the woods and no one can see it.
that's,
Okay,
that Ryerson is great.
I want to correct myself. I said 64 units on this new road. It was 46 units.
Oh,
That's
The
Now
it.
it's
original, you
72, now it's 72 units.
oh,
I
wow.
was, I had this 6 and 4 backwards. It said 64. It should have said 40.
But if you get 72 and you get 8 affordable housing, we're still minus.
Yeah, I mean, the arithmetic doesn't work.
Arithmetic, I know.
It doesn't work.
Yeah,
The only way you can.
I mean,
it's 1%.
Yeah, it's a plus for affordable housing, but it doesn't.
Well, it-
percentage problem.
It actually, in this particular case, I mean, it doesn't make any real difference, but it is, I mean, it will be more than 10% of the 72 units. So therefore, since we only have 1% of the town, that will make a small change. I mean, we'll be at 1.1% rather than 1.0. or whatever.
Good. All right, that's great.
But I don't think, no one's gonna give us an award for that.
No.
We didn't have anything to do with it anyway.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a plus for people who want affordable housing.
oh my gosh,
And who
yeah.
need it.
Yes.
but-
And by actually, and beyond our purview, but making the smaller apartments, mean the price will be smaller too, which means that some of these ones that are not deed restricted affordable will actually be affordable for people who can't afford them. So,
Yeah,
I don't know what the price, I mean, they don't have any pricing. Obviously, if they're gonna make 46 to 72, they will not be getting the same amount.
and you said they were 80%?
80%.
They were all gonna
be
80%. And the public hearing will open on 12/19.
Okay.
And like Aaron said, that there is no requirement for affordable component here in the district, but again, the developers offering this to offset the number of new market rate units. So voluntarily. Okay, Jen, I think we're finished here. Anybody have anything more to bring up? Okay, then we'll adjourn at 5:03.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great night.
And maybe when you do the notes, make them shorter rather than longer. We don't need all the detail. I think just things, the action.
I've been told that's lot of times, and I'm really trying.
Even so,
But you have a skill, right, you wanna make sure that everybody understands the.
Oh, you're
full-
so
the full-
kind.
yeah, yeah.
Beautifully.
And
So Peter, I have a feeling our next charge will be to do a PowerPoint on land trusts.